What's up, guys? Just kidding, James here at Bespoke Airsoft, back here with another episode of Bringing It Home, and we're looking at the Classic Army X9 package which has just come into us. And you get all this for like less than 250 quid. Thinking less than £250 for all this stuff that you see here and more, because you get a speed loader and you get an all mid-cap magazine. You must be having a laugh, but honestly we're not. This retails on our website for £242.99. I thought I'd give it a look because we were looking at Classic Army this week, and this is a new release from Classic Army, and it's kind of like an all-in-one package, good to go. You just need batteries and BBs really. So let's take off the accessories that you get here. Let's quick detach the presser. In the box you get a Classic Army X9. It's exactly as you would expect a normal X9, however it's got a polymer body. Everything's polymer. You've got a metal stock here, seam metal anyway. Everything else is polymer on the rifle. You've probably got a metal outer barrel, plastic flash hider, plastic grip, and plastic body. Metal iron sights which are flip up, which you can have up or down. Nice addition. Classic Army iron sights always tend to be a little bit loose, but better to have them in the box than not have them at all. So you get the rifle. You've got no ambidextrous controls here, so the fire selector can only be operated from the left hand side. Sorry lefties, unfortunately you're just going to have to get used to it. Magazine found on the right hand side, which is great for right-handed shooters as well. Reciprocating bolt here, however it does not lock to the rear, so you will have to sort of pull that back and hold it while you access your hop up and adjust it. It is a rotary style hop up. It's got nice clicks on there as well, makes small adjustments much easier. So in the box you also get a normal Classic Army X9 mid-cap magazine. Voila, does its job just like all the other X9 products on the website. You also get a 90, I think it's about 90 round speed loader in the box. These tend to be pretty reliable. I'm not sure on where these are made, whether Classic Army make them or not. However, the name is printed on the speed loader. Great little addition out of the box. Who couldn't use more than one speed loader? Great thing about having more speed loaders is you can just fill up more, and then you can just fill up, upgrade the next speed loader, and away you go. If you're not using like the Odin Sidewinder, for instance. So polymer bodied X9. Normally the X9s are metal bodied. What we've seen on a lot of the Classic Army models that we've been reviewing this week is they have this, I've never seen it before until seeing these new models, is a latch system on the grip, which is very weird because normally you're fixed in with two screws which holds it in place, and then you use your main screw to adjust your motor height, but they've got this little spring latch system on here, which, let's face it, if you're on the field, motor connectors do pop off from time to time. It's a common thing amongst airsoft products. So to have that latch system there is easy to adjust. But to be honest, for the amount of time that happens, maybe one in a screw style system just to make sure you're not catching that accidentally and your motor getting a load of dirt and crud mixed up in there. So you have a stock on here, which is a 2-position stock. You've got it extended and folded, there's no clicks in between, and then we've got a system here which is really easy to do. You literally just pull down the latch here, pull this up, and you can access the battery compartment. Makes it much easier to get batteries in there. You haven't got to slide them down and slot the wires in. You could literally just take your battery, plug the connector on, push it all in there, take your battery cap and just pop it on there, pull the latch system there, and you're good to go. It's nice and compact for CQB with it folded or slid down and folded out. You've got a nice bit of length on there. I'm about 6 foot and a bit, so it's nice and comfy, not too close, not too far away. If you're running a face mask, you're probably going to struggle to see through these iron sights depending on what face mask you're using, but most airsofters put some kind of optic or red dot on there. And let's get to what's in the box with this. So you've got a mock suppressor. This is a polymer mock suppressor. There is no foam or sound deadening quality to this. You've got a polymer flash hider on there. It has got a quick detach style spring system where you literally just turn it, you'll hear it start notching, and then it's tight and you start doing it. Great feature out of the box. Most airsofters again fit suppressors and other bits and pieces, so for your money you're getting it included in the box. And then the next part, which is a drum magazine, which comes included, which if you don't know much about these drum magazines, it's an electric winding drum magazine. You've got a button on the front there to turn it on and off. You literally take the faceplate here, slide it in an anti-clockwise rotation, and you will see that the 9-volt battery connector comes out here. What I will say with these out of the box, and I did have it with this one upon taking it out of the box, is I could not grab this connector for the life of me. So all I did, grabbed a 2.5mm Allen key and just undid the 4 screws here, took the back plate off there, threaded this wire through so it was easy to get hold of, and then just putting this back on there. Just be careful you don't over tighten the screws putting it back on, because you are screwing those into a polymer material. So let's pop that connector back in there. And then to fill this magazine up, you have a little window here, and it is a pain in the backside. I mean, when I first took it out of the box, I managed to do it there. I did have to get like a little tool just to flick it out for the first time because I could not get it to unlatch. So you fill the BBs through there. Once you fill the BBs, turn the magazine on, it will wind up as usual. Included in the box. So what I deem this as is a skirmish ready package. Most sports line models these days have polymer bodies. There is nothing wrong with that. Polymer is still very, very sturdy. It's lightweight, great for younger users, and with this package you're getting a mid-cap magazine, you're getting a drum magazine, so it's sort of giving you both aspects. You can use a speed loader to fill your drum magazine, you can fill your stick magazine, sorry. You can fill your drum magazine up, put a 9-volt battery in there, you've got loads of ammo ready to go. So it's great for new players, great for young players because of how light this thing is. Great for those, like I say, getting into the sport because you haven't got to spend a massive amount of money. £240, £250 depending on which retailer you get from. I hope it's from us. We sell them at £240, £299, and all you need is a battery that fits the stock and some ammo, and you are good to go. You are good to go on a skirmish day. You can have plenty of ammo in this, and let's face it, those that are new to the hobby perhaps won't have all the gear, perhaps won't have all the pouches and stuff, won't want to go out and fork out the wonga for 6 or 7 of these depending on how many you want to carry. So it's great that you can have a mid cap to kind of get used to the style of filling that up, because most players it's a bit of a learning curve to get used to high caps and mid caps and the differences between the both. And having the drum magazine there is literally just when your magazine is empty out in the field, you've probably got a bottle of BBs on you anyway. Just pour your BBs in there, wind the magazine up with the button on the front, nice and easy to access. Nice and easy to access the battery as well. Like what Classic Army have done with this, they also do it in a 5.56 style platform as well, which you get the gun, you get the suppressor, and you get just a high cap magazine. You don't get a drum magazine, but it is sort of, if you're more edging towards like an M4, it's a great entry into that platform as well. So same style micro switch and MOSFET system that the rest of the Classic Armies have. Nice and responsive out the box depending on whatever you want to run it on. I think anyone getting into airsoft nowadays needs to be prepared to go to LiPo batteries straight away. You're not having to put with the difficulties of NiCad and nickel metal hydride batteries that we have in the past, which are a pain to charge up. They don't last as long, and if you haven't got like a smart charger or something, it's difficult to determine when they're full, and they do take a long time to sort of charge up. So the only thing you need, grab yourself a LiPo battery, grab yourself a LiPo charger, because you cannot charge a LiPo battery with a normal charger. Grab yourself a battery, grab yourself some BBs, get this sucker out in the field, have an absolute blast. Great entry into the hobby, and have fun And then, you know, later down the line, you want to pick up more mid-cap magazines. You don't want to run the drum magazine. That's perfectly fine. You've got a solid platform here, ready to go. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with polymer bodied guns. I've ran them. Many of us have ran them in the past. They're just as sturdy, if not sometimes safer. I mean, I've seen metal bodies crack over time where the polymer has had that flex in it to not break. And this is a sturdy platform. To tell you what, for a polymer body gun, there's not much flex in this whatsoever. You got Picatinny rails there to put an optic on, put a grip on there as well. Like I say, let's put some ammo in this, let's go chrome the thing, and we're back to you in just a moment. So you can see they're quite respectable, 305-ish FPS on average. More than enough that you need out of the box of this thing. Perfect for CQB, perfect for any site. You're not running close to the limit, which means you could go to a game day and let's say the weather's warmer or whatever sometimes, or the site's chronos are running a little bit higher than what others are. We've all been there. You're safe anywhere you want to play with this thing, and you know, it's, what can I say? You're ready to go. Classic Army have done an absolute deal with this package, and let's put some more ammo into it. Get on a 10 metre distance range, whatever you want to call it. My garage, my utility, and the extra parts of the house that are attached to it. 10 metres is all we've got, guys. Sorry about that, but let's get some bigs in this thing. Let's shoot it, and you just might be surprised by the results. So we're back in just a moment. That was good, wasn't it, for a entry gun, straight out of the box. .2 BBs as always, guys. Haven't messed with the hop unit whatsoever, and I've literally just pulled it up. I don't tend to use the iron sights. I tend to just find out where it's pointing and try and keep it as consistent as possible. .2 BBs, most people aren't going to use those, but for, you know, starters, .2 BBs nice and cheap. Just whack them in there. Just make sure they're a good brand, and you're good to go. You can see the accuracy there. There's nothing to be sniffed at. And if you're using this as an entry to airsoft, majority of the time, you know, you're going to sort of use this and then look to upgrade it over the period of time. You know, an extra couple of sort of 30 to 50, 60 pound maybe, depending on what you want to put in there in terms of barrel, hot rubber, you name it. Version 2 style gearbox with this thing, so all your aftermarket parts for version 2s are going to fit. Motors, I mean, the fact that you can just pull that open and switch a motor out is... I'm still questioning why Classic Army have done that. There is obviously a reason. To me, it's an accident waiting to happen. I mean, let's face it, we all game and have fun and smash these things about from time to time. If you catch that on something, yeah, it's not the end of the world in terms of the battery case is open, but that motor height is now dropped. You pull the trigger, you sort of maybe have the chance of sort of, I mean, with the grip on there, it's probably just going to whir and you're not going to have an issue and you're just going to close that back up. It's a nice feature, however, for those new to the sport and you want to check your motor connectors, which is, you know, one of the main things that just pop off and cause like a dead trigger. If your motor connector pops off, obviously the gun isn't going to fire, so it's nice to just be able to pop that off there. Just check your motor connectors are connected. What I will say, if you are a new player, and you pick up one of these, don't mess with that depending on whether you had it from us or someone else. Just leave that well alone, no need to mess with it. The motor heights are great from the factory out of the box anyway. Just go have fun with it, because the last thing you want to do is start messing with it and avoid your warranties and such. Obviously opening that of course is not going to avoid your warranty, but the last thing you want to do is cause a problem on the field. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bringing It Home. I hope you've enjoyed it. For such a cheap and accessible platform that this is out of the box, I mean, 242 quid, guys. What can you expect for that amount of money? 2 mag, a drum magazine, for instance, you know, a speed loader to get you started. a suppressor, you know, if you want the tactical look, but if you don't have to fit it. If you want that sort of extra shortness in length to sort of get around and do some CQB stuff, you go into some indoor sites that don't allow drum magazines. There's a mid-cap in there in the box. We do have the magazines in stock. We have them in black, blue and red. Wow, mag eject. In case you have the different colour X9s, we do have all the accessories and stuff in stock. Nice to know the mag ejects out nicely there. So thanks for tuning into this episode of Bringing It Home. This has been the Classic Army X9 SMG package. You find this on the website now, and for any questions feel free to contact me personally at james@bespokeairsoft.co.uk. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, and I've got that right for a change. Like I say, if you need anything guys, just message me or get in contact. If I'm awake I will respond, but I do need to sleep every now and again, so give the guy a break, hey? And we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification. I know I bang on about it all the time. Hit a like button, so comment down below. Let us know what you want to see in the next video, and I'll do my best to get it on screen for you. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.